Hello once again, everybody. Before we get too far along with this video, there's something I want to ask all of you to do before I go in any further detail here. I would appreciate it if everyone would just keep the comments section pretty sane. I realize that some people feel that the atrocities and the terrorist attack that were committed on September 11th, 2001 were the result of a conspiracy or similar behavior. But please, let's keep things to a dull roar here, and let's keep things on the reasonable side. Okay? I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So here's my September 11th, 2001 story in observation of the 10th anniversary of the extremely unfortunate events that occurred on that very dark Tuesday. I was just a couple of months out of high school. I had just graduated and been out for a couple of months, didn't yet have a job or anything like that, and was still at home with my parents, as I am today. And I came downstairs, and my mother was fiddling with a radio at the kitchen counter. We had a little green radio in here, and she was turning it on and playing with it. And although it wasn't really working properly, and we weren't getting very good reception of anything in particular, we were making out bits and pieces of something absolutely terrible had happened, and neither one of us had any idea what it was. And we turned on the television, and of course the news was just in full swing about the horrific events. The first plane had just crashed into the World Trade Center, and just as we had turned the television on, the second plane crashed into the World Trade Center on live television, and it was truly shocking. And I can remember all that day just being kind of numb and out of it. And I live in a small town, and I would say the mood was pretty somber. People were still going about their daily business, but you could tell there had definitely been a change in the dynamics of the community. And what sticks out most in my mind about that tragic event is the way that the news coverage was so widespread. Every television station you tuned to for at least a week around these parts was covering, news of the atrocity, news of the unfortunate things that had happened, and of course opinion pieces. Even the smallest of the small radio stations around here had aligned themselves with larger news networks to cover the events as they unfolded. And so those were the things that happened around these parts. By the end of the week, things started to resume a bit of a normal semblance of affairs. Some of the smaller radio stations went back to broadcasting their more normal content, and then gradually the television stations returned to their normal programming as well. So that was pretty much how it was perceived here in Illinois, at least in small town rural Illinois. And I'm just kind of curious. I just kind of made this video because it seems that we should never forget the victims of that horrific day. And I would want to hear from any of you who watch my video and watch my channel what you were doing on the day that you got the news. And if it personally affected you, or if you were just kind of like the rest of us, standing here and, wondering why. How could somebody do something like that? Well, thank you for watching. Do feel free to leave a comment. But please, let's keep it reasonable. Let's keep it down to earth. And if you're really feeling ambitious, of course, you can certainly make a video response. So thank you again for watching, and have a good evening.